Oh, hey, guys. Muted. I thought I unmuted myself. When did I remute? Huh. Alright.
First, you can see that we pick up the waypoint, I log out the character screen. I do this so that I can get potentially a large flask, but I felt like my gear was decent. So I didn't spend the 3 wisdom scrolls to get a large flask, but our main focus...
Alright, hold up. Something is... Oh. Okay. Yeah, okay.
in prison is
It was the...
to
It was
hit level 8.
Okay, well, I wasn't talking about anything important. I was just saying, why the heck is it muting me? Yeah, I'm using the spacebar, but spacebar is also muting over on my... Yeah. Okay, cool. Got the mute macro hotkey. Great. What I was saying is look for large flask if needed for life. That's all. Basic stuff. And my ISP
The majority
sucks.
of it
Both
to
those
be
things.
in lower
Both
prison,
of those
because in
things.
upper prison there are enfeeble mobs, and once we've got that level 8, you can see that I hit a fat dead end here. Therefore,
So that is good. That's something to really think about. Is if you run into a fat dead end, as Raiz would so happily describe it there. A logout may be a better move. And that's, once again, not something I'm going to write down, but something that you want to keep in mind is what are all the places that I can log out and back in and be faster, right? What does that actually look like?
I will actually log out because it is faster than running.
What is that item supposed to be? Totem. That's flame totem. And you get that for... what? I mean, he's level 6 right now. Level 7? Man, I can't even tell. I think he's level 6. Flame totem.
Go all the way back, and I also pick up a flame totem. I'm not
Start a vote for when it'll go
so
down.
I do forget things like that. And yeah, we're trying to get the level 8 just so we can...
Flame totem you get from the mud flats. Okay. Hold on, let's go over that real quick. That's going to be... Well, when am I ever going to be back in town, though? I go into Submerged. I go into the Climb. Prison. Like, the next time I go to town, I think, isn't until I enter the prison. Thanks, Lanky. Catch you later. Yeah, I think it's at the prison waypoint. That's the next time I go to town.
Equip added lightning onto our spark. If we pull Brutus in a favorable...
Okay. Level 6. Spell damage.
spot for us, we can do the same thing we did with Hellrake, and that's pretty much the only use for our spark. You can also use it a little bit.
No, he went before that as well.
Spark actually does less damage than freeze pulse. It's just that it can rearm itself off of walls and past a certain duration, so I can hit things twice if you do it well.
Well, he went
so yeah,
twice.
We're just still
he
looking for the right
twice.
gear. We're trying to hit
I'm
that
gonna
level
try
8.
a Templar.
Like I said, the majority of our level, like 7.5 at least, should be in this zone, but we're not exactly getting the packs that we want. Our zone is quite short. We haven't had many blue mobs, and we're barely hitting level 7, which is something that almost never happens, but it did happen in this run.
Okay.
So,
and
even if you don't get the
Retribution as well for level 7. And big thing to write down, need level 8 by Brutus. Very important.
Level 8, it's not the end of the world, but do keep in mind that you will be losing a bunch of time on Brutus. And
okay, stuff like that, that's just like a map knowledge. As soon as he sees that map, he knows to go the other way probably or something.
So, who are those subs, goddammit? Who subscribed? Emanator, I think? And somebody else that's not showing up.
So normally he wouldn't fight rares, but I mean right now.
It's like not showing up.
Right now we need some.
I do get a nice helmet over there, but I can't exactly use it because we need the colors. We need the blue colors on the helmet that I've got right now, and also it doesn't have any evasion. We are focusing on the evasion. You can see at this point that...
And evasion is very critical. I have learned that from my Brutus fights. I might need to use a builder offline to have your passive tree off
I'm
screen.
in trouble.
I'm just going to do that like that.
Fight. We took a while to get there. Considering we have 2 Quicksilvers, I should have been there earlier. So I didn't exactly read the layouts perfectly.
Dang, he's only level 7.5.
I only have the Battered Helmet and the fishscale gloves. I didn't buy the large flask because I...
Fishscale gloves, that was the other thing. And he didn't buy...
assume my gear is going to be good enough.
A large life flask.
And we're in trouble. No large flask, no chest piece. I am forced into using the shield. Therefore, I'm decreasing my damage. Therefore, I'm decreasing my capability of shocking Brutus.
Shield decreases damage. Interesting. No chest either, I know, yeah.
For a really tough fight. You can basically
it's gonna be a very tough Brutus.
I mentioned before. And I am equipping the shield late so I don't reduce the movement speed. So something interesting that not a lot of people know about Brutus, you can see how he ran directly to me, and I put him in a spot where it's easy for me to bounce sparks. And normally with the right amount of gear, you can just simply sit there, bounce sparks off of the wall, and kill him within 15 seconds. But because of the lack of gear, that's not the case. We have to run around.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile?
Yo, like a box 9, 2 months in a row. Welcome back. 2 llamas in the round. Thank you so much. All right, so that's good to note. Not decreases, just second one would increase. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. 2 ones is increased. Need level 8 by Brutus. Bring to corner before using a spell. Important to note. Appreciate that, like a box. Appreciate that. Bring corner before using a spell. Spark corner plus totems.
And waste time. Which, you know, in a 6-hour run is not a big deal. But if you're doing a Brutus kill, it's significantly slower. You should never have to TP out and all that. But what I was talking about before is, you see how he ran directly into the corner? If you will perform an action, Brutus will actually perform an action also. But if you do not use an ability, Brutus will only melee you. He will not hook you, and he will not slam you. So you can really move him to any space.
Did I note about added lightning? That's probably good. So added lightning plus spark, right? That was a pretty clean kill. Yeah, he had to TP to town once. He was only level 7.5 though. Added lightning to spark. We'll do that. That's good. Fire trap for Brutus. Yeah, see, I think like that's plus fire tones, plus fire traps. Yeah, because fire trap will get that ignite going. That's fair. What up, Capjoy?
In his room, as long as you do not perform any ability. It's not attacking him, it's just doing anything.
Okay, so then he gets flame dash. That's important. After Brutus in town. Relog. Right? He relogged that, yeah. Flame dash. Very important.
For instance, and it also includes golems. So if you have a golem, golems will he will treat golems as you using an ability, and he will change his AI.
For Mervale?
So we're focusing on the alterations and the transmutes. You can see that I picked up almost everything I could from Brutus, just so I can get those alterations, just so I can get those transmutes. You do want to focus on picking up weapons, because with flat elemental damage, with spell damage, it can boost your damage a lot. We hit the level 8 now. Okay. We're getting the blue packs that we need.
That's good to know. Focus on picking weapons. Percent spell damage can be great. Am I going to try breaking out smaller goals like Brutus? I don't know if I'll do like Brutus runs so much. I feel like a normal run is where I'm going to want to get to for my starting point. And then I'm going to go for hell runs, or merciless runs, sorry, and then like 1 to 70 runs after that. Okay, back to learning.
In the other instance, a little bit unfortunate, but in a long run like this, not that big of a deal. It's good that we're getting things, because hitting level 10 and getting Flame Dash early is important.
Alright, so then he goes on to the area of effect. Area of effect. We'll make sure to add that to this notebook. And I can attach these notebooks. I guess I can't really attach, can I? I can put the notes in the links for the YouTube video of this. Stream of a stream, you know it. Not percent flat added damage to spells. I don't get that answer. Thinking of running through G2, do you have a vid on how to effectively move through zones? Yes. I have a whole playlist if you go to my YouTube. YouTube.com, MrLemonSC. And then just look for speedrun playlist, whatever. Got like 19, 20 videos.
And yeah, we've got that crazy wand. The wand is 6 to 13 flat fire damage, which is like...
Oh, flat fire damage.
It's like half the damage maybe of the initial hit over fire trap.
Okay, so flat fire damage is better, you're saying, than the percent spell. Is that what you're saying? Flat fire damage equals amazing? Because that would be good to know. In addition to that. Yes, okay.
Finding offhands like that is very important. You can see that I put the added lightning into the fire trap, and I'm basically one-shotting packs with just fire trap alone, and whatever doesn't die to initial.
So he put it into fire trap, not into spark. I thought he added lightning to spark. But now he's saying fire trap.
Okay, it does die to the ignite. And
another important thing to note is how often he's upgrading his... Okay, then you're done with spark. I guess, oh, then he moves it there. So let's say it's spark here, and then added lightning after that. So we'll put that in our after Brutus town. Rid of spark, added lightning to flame, or fire trap. That's really good to note.
And, yeah, we're just focusing on EXPing properly. And trying to get that level 10 for the Flame Dash so that we can move through caverns easily. The thing is, if you don't hit level 10 in caverns, the Sea Witches can really stop you.
Okay, so he's level 9 entering Graveyard. Oops, scroll down. Level 9 entering Graveyard. And his level 9 skill is also AoE.
Due to the singing. And that's a big time waster. So we don't want that. Also, you can kill things with Flame Dash. Especially if you have a strong offhand like this, and especially if you make a +1.
Yeah, if you get a strong offhand with Flame Dash, that could be really strong.
Flame Dash is actually a very strong ability. So I'm panicking here a little bit with
experience.
The amount of EXP that I have.
Yeah,
you can see that
he's really low experience.
Not even remotely close to 10. But we do see a breach. So a lot of people breaches won't be a factor if they don't. God damn it!
I mean, I'm gonna watch everybody. Yeah. Yeah, you should turn that off, Raiz.
Turning it off.
You should turn that off.
Thanks so much for the sub, dude. I appreciate the support. Thank you, man. A lot of people, breaches won't be a factor, and generally, you don't really do breaches. However, if you're getting really fucked over on RNG, you're not getting alterations.
Sorry for the language.
Not getting transmutes. You're not getting the density that you were expecting to get.
Okay, has to be level 10. Game without doing a full playthrough beforehand? No, I think it's worth playing through a game without speedrunning it just for the experience. I think just for the experience alone, you want to do that, in my mind.
You really might want to do a breach. Sometimes they're going to be good, sometimes they're going to be bad, but generally they're a very good RNG balancer. Yeah, you will still be wasting time, but it's not a big deal, right? It's just
Cavern of Wrath.
If you're not doing your...
Did he put his skill in yet? I must have missed that. Level 10 by Cavern of Wrath.
Raiz, if you're using this to start off a league, it's not a big deal.
No, he didn't. Okay, so he went elemental damage again. So he actually skipped the big AoE note. Or node. Interesting. Small and small. That's important to note. That's something to really think about. That he went small, small. When am I've already done a playthrough of this game. Doesn't benefit anything but fire trap. Interesting. Interesting.
Oh, you've got a couple choices here.
Yo, Asteroid 2, thank you for the bow 99. Appreciate that, bud.
You don't have to kill Nervo to get your level 12 gem, which not a lot of people know.
There seems to be a lot more Pro RNG to fight against than D2. Trading, loot time, EXP, maps, monsters, etc.
You can see that I'm killing things with just Flame Dash alone.
I don't know if there's a lot more RNG and PoE than D2. I think it's pretty balanced, and they both kind of have very similar RNG. The only difference is, like, I don't know. I mean, your skills are all kind of set. The monsters kind of ramp. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. You too can interrupt Mr. Llama for just $4.99.
Just sick.
Thanks, Asteroid.
It depends
Appreciate
on
that,
how
bud.
many alterations. If you have alterations to craft your weapons, and whether or not you have transmutes to buy all the gems that you need, and also you might need a transmute for, you know, getting
more
that
crafting.
Quicksilver,
That's true.
or you might need a transmute to get a Jade Amulet. All of those things come into play. I have 2 transmutes.
Yeah, so
what I need is a transmute for a second Firestorm. I will be picking up 1 Firestorm from the quest. I need a Spell Totem, so I can...
Alright, this is going to be good stuff to write down, actually.
Which is sick. It depends on how many alterations. If you have alterations to craft your weapons, and whether or not you have transmutes to buy all the gems that you need. And also you might need a transmute for, you know, getting that Quicksilver, or you might need a transmute to get...
What's the mean by need a transmute to get that Quicksilver? What does it mean by that?
All of those things come into play. I have 2 transmutes. What I need is a transmute for a second Firestorm. I will be picking up 1 Firestorm from the quest. I need a Spell Totem. So again, it's 2 transmutes, even though I'm counting.
Transmute for Spell
Totem. 2
Totem.
transmutes. And then I do need a transmute to make my weapon a magic weapon. Otherwise, I cannot use the recipe on it. And I need a 4th transmute to buy a Jade Amulet, because at level 12, if you do not have any dexterity on your gear, Templar actually won't be capable, unless you pick up dexterity on the skill tree, to level up his fire trap further. So even though we've struggled a lot with getting the XP, I didn't.
Okay, so Jade Amulet, because we need dexterity. Okay, so those are 4 things that we're going to want. So, Orb of Transmutations. How soon will we be seeing some PoE races? Well, I got to start with this. As soon as we get through this, then we can begin our own kind of race practice stuff, and then we can start challenging people, and then calling them out until they race us. And destroy us, but then, you know, we'll get better.
Not hit the level 11. You want level 11 most of the time.
Okay, want level 11 by... Mervale, something like that. That's something like their name, right? Mervale? Stream of a stream of a stream. Yeah, this isn't him playing. He is streaming over his stream. So it's him streaming, and then on top of that, him commentating on his streaming. And then behind that, me commentating on him, commentating on him. We're just going a lot of layers back here.
Allows you